City of Stevens Point Police and Fire Commission meeting, recorded November 6, 2025.
It's 1 o'clock. We'll bring the meeting to order. Right. Candy, can we have a roll, please?
Barron.
Here.
Kirschling.
Here.
Rozek. Here. Pingle.
Here. And Commissioner Zenner is excused. Number 2, President's Report. I don't have anything today for the President's Report. Number 3, approval of minutes for October 2nd meeting and October 14th meeting. Anybody have any questions, comments?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for both meetings from Rozek.
I'll second. Pingle.
All right, a motion, a second. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Number 4, confirmation of bills. Mr. Secretary.
Everything looks good. I did go over the bills on Tuesday. And fire department ambulance looks great. Chief, you may make it through, right, Chief Kuso? It's gonna be close, but yes.
Okay.
Nothing remarkable.
All right, any other questions?
I'll make a motion for confirmation of bills from Rozek.
I'll second.
All right, motion is second. I do have one question. Aldatech for under the ambulance?
Aldatech.
Yeah, what is that?
So Aldatech is one of our software programs. Basically allows us to do our scheduling on a day-to-day basis for staffing levels, and then it also is one of our systems that allows us to be able to do tracking and report software writing when it comes to checks and making sure everything has been put in systematically. Also, it helps us with being able to check equipment in and out for inventory forms, daily checks. It helps with managing our training documentation. So when somebody goes to, or a crew goes to training, we document how many hours, who the instructor was, what the training was. So it's one of our technology programs.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have a motion, a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed, hearing none, motion carries. Recognition of Fire Chief Jb Moody receiving Chief Fire Officer designation from the Commission on Professional Credentialing on October 3rd, 2025. And we have an attached article with that. So what I do know about this this designation is very few chiefs in the country have this. Not only do we have Chief of the Year, we have a chief that has credentials that not many have, and it's not just a swipe of a pen to get it. It's requires more than just a weekend out. So, Chief, congratulations on this designation. It's quite an accomplishment.
Thank you.
All right, no action is needed on that. We'll move on to number 6, discussion with possible action to approve the promotion of Lieutenant Jeremy Mueller to Assistant Police Chief of Administration effective December 1, 2025. Chief?
Yes, we brought Lieutenant Mueller here today, so you guys can ask him any questions you would like. Just a little history about Lieutenant Mueller. We did the process, and in this process, we kind of changed up a little bit where we got input from everybody here at the department, including civilian staff, and he came out on top. I'm going to go all the way through what I wrote in the letter, but he grew up in Waukesha, where he graduated from Kettle Moraine High School in 2000. He then came to Stevens Point, where he attended the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point and graduated with a bachelor's degree in wildlife management in 2005. He started with the Stevens Point Police Department on January 8th of 2007 as a patrol officer. Lieutenant Mueller is very well rounded, has taken a progressive path to learn almost every aspect of the Stevens Point Police Department over his 18-plus year career here. He's held the following positions throughout his career. He's been a SWAT member, he's a less lethal instructor, he's a firearms instructor, he's a field training officer, he's a field training supervisor, master range instructor, lead officer, patrol sergeant, patrol lieutenant, Operations Lieutenant, and he is currently serving as Lieutenant of the Investigation Bureau. What I'm looking for today is from the Police and Fire Commission to approve the promote Lieutenant Jeremy Mueller to the position of Assistant Police Chief of Administration on December 1st of 2025.
Very good. Any commissioners have any questions?
I do have one question. You noted that this was a process that was done differently, this time with more input from the staff. Can you share with us the candidates that Jeremy beat out that applied for it?
Yeah, the individuals that applied for this position were Lieutenant Ben Eitenbrook, Lieutenant Joe Johnson, Jeremy, and Sergeant J.D. Ballou.
Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't have any questions. If any other commissioners have any questions? All right, I'll make a motion to approve the promotion of Lieutenant Jeremy Mueller to Assistant Police Chief of Administration effective December 1st, 2025.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion, a second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations.
Congrats, Jeremy.
Thank you very much.
All right, number 7, discussion with possible action to approve Sergeant Alex Beach from probation status to permanent status with completion of the 12-month probationary period effective November 6, 2025. Chief?
Yeah, so again, Alex Beach, and the next one that's on the list is Garrik Kjentvet. Normally I would have them here, so you guys could actually see them and talk to them. But Alex Beach is part of our SWAT team, and he is currently at Vortex for training. And then Officer Kjentvet is actually at a very serious jury trial right now that he can't get out of. Alex Beach started here in January 23rd of 2017. He's got 8+ years, almost 9. He'll have 9 years in January. Again, we have a 12-month probationary period for sergeants. And from Mike Long, his lieutenant, it says, during the 12 months with our department as probationary sergeant, he has consistently shown exemplary performance in the execution of his duties. His overall enthusiasm in developing a skill set, as well as all the other officers that he has the privilege to lead, is more evident. Sergeant Beach has always been a very motivated person, even after being appointed probationary sergeant. He continues to keep himself busy with calls, assisting others, and mentoring and motivating others around him. Sergeant Beach has successfully completed the 12-month period as a probationary sergeant, and Lieutenant Long recommends that he be recognized as a permanent sergeant of the Stevens Point Police Department effective as of today. And a little bit about his career here. Again, he started in 2017. In June of 2018, he applied for SWAT and became a SWAT member. In July of 2020, he became a field training officer. In August of that same year, he got identified as a sniper on our special weapons team. In May of 2022, he became a peer support member. And then in November of 2022, he became a lead officer here, leading one of the shifts. And then in November of 2024, he became a sergeant here at the Stevens Point Police Department. So he definitely has taken several roles in the time that he's been here. And again, we're just looking for approval to make him a permanent sergeant here at the Stevens Point Police Department as of today.
All right, any questions? I'll make a motion to approve Sergeant Alex Beach from probation status to permanent status with the completion of the 12-month probationary period effective November 6, 2025.
I'll second.
All right, motion is second. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Discussion with possible action to approve Officer Garrik Kjentvet from probation status to permanent status with the completion of the 18-month probationary period effective November 28th, 2025.
Yes, again, this is for approval for probationary period on 11/28 of 2025 because we're not going to be meeting until after that. The letter from his lieutenant, states that he recommends that Officer Garrik Kjentvet passes probationary status and be moved to permanent status as of 11/28. Lieutenant Roser states, I had the pleasure of supervising Officer Kjentvet for 11 of his 18-month probationary period. During this time, I've seen Officer Kjentvet grow as an officer, mature as an officer and a person, and become more confident in his abilities. It's very clear to Lieutenant Roser that Officer Kjentvet takes this career and his responsibilities very seriously. Officer Kjentvet is consistently asking questions to learn and better himself as well as others. When mistakes are made, Officer Kjentvet listens, learns, and ensures that these mistakes are not made again. Officer Kjentvet has made a positive impact on Shift C during his time there. He is an outgoing individual that's easy to talk to and get along with, and has made friends with every officer on his shift. Lieutenant Roser is asking that Officer Kjentvet continue on his current path and continue to be a good example of the officers here at the Stevens Point Police Department. And his recommendation that Officer Kjentvet pass probationary status on November 28th of 2025. So I'm asking the PFC for approval to recommend him, as long as everything continues as is, that he become permanent police officer here on November 28th of 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve Officer Garrik Kjentvet from probationary status to permanent status with completion of the 18-month probationary period effective November 28th, 2025.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations to both of those folks. Number 9, Police Chief Report. Chief?
Yes, just a couple notes of interest on the 1st of this month. K-9 Barry and Sergeant Blue assisted the county with a traffic stop on 2 different occasions. One led to 12 grams of cocaine being located. The other one resulted in 5 grams of cocaine, pipes, and a scale. On the 18th of this month, Lieutenant Johnson participated in an annual winterization of triad at the ADRC, where he partners with D&D Auto. Senior citizens can sign up and get their vehicle checked before winter arrives. They had almost 24 vehicles that were inspected during this 4-hour event. On the 22nd, Assistant Chief Williams held promotional interviews for the sergeants and lieutenants, and that is now completed. They also did the drug take-back for fall. On the 25th, Officer Radzik spent 4 hours at the ADRC, and they ended up coming out with 442.6 pounds of drugs that were disposed of and taken to the State Patrol headquarters for disposal. And then Officer Kramer, every Thursday, has been working with the county and the fire department and Plover Police Department for the Citizens Academy. It's covered topics such as firearms, deadly force, narcotics training, taser training, and then obviously the field of firefighting. And tonight at 6 o'clock is their graduation from the Citizens Academy. The other thing I want to just point out is 2 incidents that our officers responded to. We look at our operational budget, and sometimes we can't determine what that's going to be. And this month was pretty busy. On the 9th, officers were dispatched to a residence here in Stevens Point, where a previous tenant who had been evicted forced entry into the residence and was inside. During the previous contacts with this subject, it was noted the subject has some mental health issues and was in possession of at least 2 firearms. And those firearms were seized after they were able to get her out of the residence. While officers were approaching the residence to go inside, the subject yelled for officers to stay out and advised them that they had a gun. The residence was surrounded, and the Stevens Point Plover SWAT team was called out. SWAT members arrived in the driveway with the MRAP, which is the military vehicle, and they made announcements. After tactical damage to a window of the residence, the suspect did come out of the room and surrender to officers. And inside the residence, there were 2 loaded firearms that were located. There were no injuries or incidents. And then another one that our SWAT team responded to, again, which uses up a lot of our resources financially. On the 16th, Waushara County ended up having a officer-involved shooting. And Waushara County does not have a SWAT team, and so the Portage County SWAT team, SRT team they call them, and our SWAT team had gotten together, and they actually went down there, set up a perimeter. They brought the MRAP, and announcements were made, guns were pointed at the residence, and approximately 30, 40 millimeter rounds were deployed, which is a less lethal in gas, by us and the Plover SWAT team. into the residence to get the subject out. It was not effective. The subject was found by the SPPD drone. And again, this is a resource that we had purchased here when I had been chief. We were able to actually break some windows, and they put the drone in, and they were able to bring the drone in so nobody else was put in danger. And they ended up locating the individual who was not moving. Entry was made into the house, and the sole person that was in the residence was found deceased due to a gunshot wound. But again, those were two incidents that we obviously don't plan for, that use up a lot of our resources, a lot of our finances with overtime. But that is the chief's report for this year, or for this month.
All right, any questions? I'll make a motion to accept the police chief's report and put it on file.
Second by Morozek.
All right, a motion, a second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Number 10, discussion with possible action on moving forward with the employment of new probationary firefighters, paramedic candidates, Kosobucki, Nielsen, Vlach, and Zvara. Did I say all those right, Chief?
Pretty close. Kosobucki, Nielsen, Vlach, and Zvara. That's what
Okay.
it sounds like, a K.
Got it.
So, yes, so we ran probationary paramedic candidate interviews again this past month, and offered these 4 individuals a conditional offer of employment, which have accepted. And they will be starting with the department on January 5th to then go through a 5-week academy with Division Chief Ewing. After graduating from the academy, these 4 candidates will be placed on heavy pieces within the city, running either on a truck or an engine company until they are through the first part of their paramedic program. Then at that time, they'll get their training permits, be placed on an ambulance to complete their paramedic program or certifications, and then their 1 year of probation will start at that point. So looking for approval to hire these 4 candidates on effective January 5th of 2026.
Chief, can you review for the commission, more specifically Zvara, how that'll work with AC Zvara and reporting, and if there's any discipline or?
Sure, not a problem. So we do have policies and procedures in place right now within the department. Currently, it works the same way with Assistant Chief Gemza and Paramedic Supervisor Gemza. When an issue arises within the Stevens Point Fire Department, anything dealing with immediate supervision, discipline, or anything else would then follow through to the opposite track. Currently, those things would then fall to Assistant Chief Zvara with Paramedic Supervisor Gemza, and now the opposite is true with Probationary Firefighter Paramedic Zvara. Any issues that would arise would then fall on of who's going to actually be my next discussion point during the chief's interview, our new Assistant Chief of EMS, Anthony Lucchini. And all of that's spelled out in our policies and procedures.
Very good. Any questions? Comments? All right, I'll make a motion to move forward with the employment of new probationary firefighter paramedic candidates, Kosobucki, Nielsen, Vlach, and Zvara.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations, Kosobucki, Nielsen, Vlach, and Zvara. Moving on to number 11, the Fire Chief Report, EMS Report, EM Report. Chief?
So I know that the, we'll start right there. I know that the PFC has already approved the hiring of our new Assistant Chief of EMS, Anthony Lucchini, but I'd like the Police and Fire Commission to be able to put a name with the face, and or the face with the name. And so we've brought Anthony Lucchini with. He actually started this last Monday with the Stevens Point Fire Department in the Academy, November 3rd. So if you'd like to come on up and maybe introduce yourself a little bit, and I'm sure there may be a question or two. His last duty assignment was with the Village of Plover. He was the Deputy Chief overseeing EMS.
All right, well, thank you. My name is Anthony Lucchini. A little bit of history about myself. I have worked for about 25 years in the public safety realm, including some on a department with a full-time career department with Marshfield Fire Rescue, along with being the director of the ambulance service in Door County, which I overseen about 7 ambulances. Excuse me. Which is a lot of where I got my EMS leadership experience and emergency management experience as well. Most recently, like Chief had said, I have come from Plover Fire Department. I saw an opportunity to apply with the career department, Stevens Point Fire Department, which I seen as a leader in the community in the county as well. Was offered the position and gratefully accepted the position with Stevens Point Fire Department.
Very good. Any questions?
How do you spell your last name?
It's Lucchini.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. AC Lucchini, congratulations. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
All right, other significant events that happened this past month, it was obviously Fire Prevention Month in October, and we had our open house. Again, second year in the row, we've had our open house. This year was at Station 2 and was very successful with the community. And I'd just like to thank Deputy Fire Marshal Malin, Battalion Chief Hoffensberger, and Firefighter Paramedic Myers for taking several months prior to that event to put that all together, and for the duty crew and the additional members that were hired back to make it successful that day. Like Chief Kuso said, the Citizens Academy will be graduating this evening after several weeks of going through fire, EMS, and law enforcement educational experiences, and I think that it's been very successful and heard a lot of good things again this year with the program. Monthly trainings, the only thing I wanted to point out right now was that all of our boating operations, we've done a lot of training on boating operations, and we have gotten a majority of our members that are going to be operating the boat through their DNR licensure and making sure that everybody is up to date on all of the standards internally and externally. One thing I would like to point out is we currently have 3 members on family medical leave. We have 3 on modified duty, and we are projected to have 3 more on family medical by mid-February of next year. With that being said, we are looking at the budget every day and paying attention to what is going on, and we are making sure that we have stopped purchasing in other areas. As many of the police and fire commissioners know, we are currently, Chief Kuso and I, on our 5th year in a row of a 0% increase in our operational budgets. Next year we'll make the 6th year in a row, and the overtime budgets for our 2 departments have not increased either. When you have these types of numbers and you have to pay for that overtime or to make sure that the staffing is appropriate, we have had to look and at those operational budgets and realize where we need to be and where we're going to cut to make sure we end up in the black at the end of the year. So it's going to be a challenging time within the fire department, but we want to make sure that we end up in the black by the end of the year. Public activities, as you will see, plenty of public activities this past month out in the community all over. Again, it was Fire Prevention Month and the crews were extremely busy. One thing I would like to point out is there was specifically a recognition for B platoon or B crew during the participation of the trick or treat downtown the weekend of Halloween, and their presence and engagement in the community was very successful and recognized by many, including some of our elected officials within the city. The emergency management report, again, nothing to, I shouldn't say again, but this month there's nothing to report in EM. Any questions regarding any of the fire, EMS, or EM reports?
I don't have any.
I have a comment. I attended the open house. It was awesome. Thank you for putting that on. I think it was very well attended. Was that more well attended than in the past? Because it seemed like it was pretty full for those hours with kids and families. And
I think we had more opportunities for the public this year with having an actual live fire demonstration and a sprinkler demonstration to show with live fire what a sprinkler will do and then what we can do with an actual attack line. Being having that, we actually had an extrication demonstration as well where we cut some cars apart and did some EMS training of how we pull people out and treat those patients. And some of the other things we had throughout the event were up in the game this year compared to last year, but as far as numbers, I think we were pretty competitive to what we saw last year at Station 1.
And I also want to say thank you to the crossing guards. I don't know who set that up, but that was an excellent addition, I think, for getting across Patch Street with the parking. So whoever that came from, I appreciate that.
We worked with the Stevens Point Police Department and their auxiliary. Their auxiliary handled that, and we had many compliments to that as well as they set that up.
Did you always have a sign up like you had this year in the past?
A sign.
A city sign?
A city sign, yes. So we do, we have asked in the past, these last 2 years, we have worked with DPW to get their signage to be able to put that next to the station. Last year for the open house there, and now this year over here. We've used their signage for other things like our MDA events or other things that we want to make sure that the community is recognizing that we're doing. So yes.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice addition. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the Fire Chief report, EMS report, and EM report. Have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, motion and second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Number 12, consideration of motion to adjourn into closed session pursuant to section 19.85, sub 1, sub C and E, Wisconsin statutes for the purpose of considering employment for any public employee over which the commission has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility and conducting specified business whenever competitive reasons require a closed session. And it's going to go into discussing law enforcement panel results and community stakeholder panel results involving police chief candidates and proceed to the next step of the hiring process. The commission will not reconvene into open session after the closed session portion, and everybody left already, of the meeting. Candy, if we can have roll on going into closed.
Barron?
Yes.
Kirschling?
Yes.
Rosick?
Yes.
Pingle?
Yes.
All right, we're in closed session.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.